Hi everyone, this is Grace from Sprinkle of Sesame. Today I'll be showing you how to make a scrumptious dish called pesto chicken and gnocchi. This dish is super easy to make, takes less than half an hour to make, which is a great recipe to have in hand on a busy weeknight. For those of you who are not familiar with gnocchi, gnocchi are Italian dumplings made from potatoes. Since they're made from potatoes, they are super starchy, which makes them chewy and soft, and it tastes a little bit sweet, and I just love eating the pesto with the gnocchi. But if you don't have gnocchi, you can always use pasta instead. And the homemade pesto is out of this world. It has a ton of fresh basil, garlic, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, and toasted pine nuts. Once you've made this homemade pesto, you're going to realize how easy it is to make it and how much better it tastes. And you'll never want to go back to using a jar of pesto. It's going to taste like a restaurant quality dish, if not better. So let's get cooking. The first thing I'm going to do is boiling about 8 cups of water so I can cook the gnocchi in it. So I put the water in the pot and I'm going to turn the heat on high. The next thing I'm going to do is start cooking the chicken breast. I have 1.5 pounds of chicken breast that are thinly sliced. To turn the heat on, I think medium is good. Pour a little oil, about a tablespoon. And I'm going to put the chicken in. And then I'm going to season the chicken with half a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So you can let that cook. It's been about 5 minutes, and now I'm going to flip the chicken so it cooks on the other side. Since this chicken is thinly sliced, it doesn't take long at all to cook. It takes maybe 10 minutes total, 10 to 15 minutes for the chicken to be fully cooked. So the chicken is nice and done. So I'm going to remove it from heat. The chicken is done. It is completely up to you what you want to do with the chicken. You can either serve it whole like this and each person can just cut it themselves as they eat it, or you can cut it for them and serve it bite-sized pieces. While the water is heating up and the chicken is cooking, I'm going to make the pesto. So I have a blender here that I'm going to use, and I have about 2 cups of basil. I think it's 4 ounces of fresh basil. So I'm going to remove the leaves from the stems a little bit. You don't have to remove all the stems, but just the big ones. The smell of the basil is amazing. I have 4 ounces or about 2 cups of basil, fresh basil. And I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic. It helps to peel the garlic if you smash it with a knife like that. Crush the garlic a little bit. Okay. I put 2 cloves of fresh garlic. And then I'm going to add a block of Parmesan cheese. I think about this much. See how much this weighs. Alright, so add about 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese. And then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of toasted pine nuts. half a teaspoon of black pepper, and about half a teaspoon of salt. And last but not least, I'm going to add half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. I love olive oil. I love dipping bread in the olive oil. And I love cooking shrimp in the olive oil and eating it with a piece of bread. I'll do a recipe on that later. And then now all you need to do is blend it together. Okay, it's done. Let's look what it looks like on the inside. Let's see. Look at that. That looks so good. I'm going to taste the pesto a little bit. I give it 2 thumbs up. It has a ton of basil. It is so fresh and so fragrant. It is absolutely delicious. Oh look, the water is boiling. To the water, I'm going to add 1 package or 20 ounce of gnocchi that I bought. And you can let it cook for 5 minutes. It does not take that long to cook. And you'll know that the gnocchi is done because the gnocchi will start floating to the top. As I'm waiting for the gnocchi to cook, I'm going to snack on the toasted pine nuts. I love it. So nutty. It tastes like a pine tree. I think pine trees are my favorite. They remind me of Christmas. Oh look, the gnocchis are starting to float to the top. See? That means they're done cooking. Now I'm going to drain it. What I like to do is to add the gnocchi back into the skillet that the chicken was cooked in. That's still a little hot. And it's going to give the gnocchi a nice toasted color, like this. Toss it around just a little bit. And then I'm going to add the pesto. I'm not going to add all of it, maybe half of it. And toss it around. Mix it together. And then I like to add the chicken back into the skillet. And then you can add a little extra pesto on the chicken if you want. And my favorite part, adding grated Parmesan cheese, freshly grated. I think it makes a difference if you grate the cheese yourself instead of buying the pre-grated Parmesan cheese. It tastes so much better. Doesn't it look delicious? Now it's time to try this pesto chicken and gnocchi. Got some chicken. I'm gonna try the chicken first. Wow. It is so flavorful. It has a little bit of garlic and it has a ton of fresh basil. It's so good. It's such a nutritious meal too, and not hard to make. And this pesto, this one is a keeper. It is so good. I hope you enjoy learning how to make this delicious pesto chicken and gnocchi. If you like this recipe, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section. And last but not least, please subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.